Hi, in this video I'm going to show you two setups to shoot products on a white background. What you're seeing right now is the setup with a softbox. So this is a softbox. This is 2 by 3 foot or 60 by 90 centimeters. And I've got a strobe in there. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if I've zoomed out enough on my lens over there, but that's a Godox SK400. On the camera, I've got a trigger. This is going to trigger, obviously, the strobe, and that's how I'm going to take a photo. So I'm going to take a little test shot here. The settings are ISO 100, f10, because I want some depth of field. This is a 105 macro lens. So f10 on the lens, ISO 100, which is the lowest ISO on this camera, to get cleanest possible images. The strobe is set to, in terms of power, 1.8 plus 0.7, and that seems to give a fairly reasonable exposure. On the back of the camera, the white background is slightly overexposed, so that's good. I've got the blinkies. All I have to do now is take a shot with something white or gray, so that's the gray card. Right? And now I'm going to show you a simpler setup, because this is going to cost you some money. This is going to cost you a C-stand. That's this thing. It's going to cost you a softbox, a strobe, and a trigger. So I want to replace all that by just one speed light. So let me take all of this out of the way and bring in a speed light. Okay, I hope you're still there. This is a speed light, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to point this at the ceiling, and sometimes you have to kind of play around with the angle, so you need a speed light where you can change the angle of the head. You don't want to be shooting directly at the product. That's going to look pretty bad. What you want to do is you want the light to come from overhead. So I'm just going to point that at the ceiling so that the light will go up, hit the ceiling, and then come down again. The problem is if you don't angle this up enough, some of the light is going to directly hit your subject. So you'll get kind of like a double lighting going on. You'll get soft light from the top, but you'll also get some hard light, some direct light from the flash head. So to avoid that, you can use just a little piece of black cardboard and a rubber band, and you just, shield the direct light from hitting your subject. So imagine that you're sitting there, you don't want to see any of the, so imagine that you are being photographed. If you see some surface, let's take it off again. As long as you can see a little bit of this surface, some direct light will hit you. And that's what you want to avoid. You just want to make sure that the only light that's going to reach you is going to come from the ceiling. So let me try this. Probably angle up a little bit more. There we go. My flash is telling me that it's underexposed, doesn't have enough power. So this is one of the disadvantages of using a little flash like this and having to do indirect lighting. You don't usually have enough power. So I'm going to raise the ISO to maybe 400. I think this looks good. Okay, I'm also going to just again grab my gray card so I can white balance, because one of the other things is, of course, if you're doing indirect light, you see that wall? That's not white, that's kind of green. And some of that green is going to creep in to the image. And if you put a little gray card there, you can at least try to get rid of some of that green. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go to the computer, and then we'll just look at the images, and hopefully you'll see that images from a speed light like this are probably 95% as good as images with the softbox. All right, let's go to the computer. All right, so we're at the computer, and this is the first image that I took with the softbox overhead. Well, actually, this is the first shot I took with a softbox, but it's completely overexposed. But this is the one with the gray card, so this means the one just before it is the good one. And so, yeah, we have white background as we intended. And so all I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to, and this is all unedited. This is just the way it came out of the camera. So I'm going to white balance, and then I'm just going to copy over that white balance to this image. There we go. It looks a bit greenish, but maybe that's just my eyes needing to readjust to the correct color. Anyway, so maybe we should just crop that a little bit. By the way, I'm using Nikon's own software, which is NX Studio. You can download that for free. So this is, let's say this is the image. Do we need anything else? Maybe we do not need anything else for now. So I'm gonna give that 1 star, save it. And then the other image, this is the one with the gray card. So let's white balance on that. Let's copy that to this one. That didn't really make a big difference, but okay. And let's also do a slight crop. Would have been nice if I could have done exactly the same crop. That's probably not going to work, so let's give that a star as well. Let's save it. Let's go to split screen. I'm gonna put that one on the right. So on the right hand side we have the image with the speed light pointing up to at the ceiling, and then here we have the image with the softbox. Let me get this out of the way so that you can see it's a little bit different, but it looks very, very similar. I think the one on the left with the softbox has a little bit more contrast, a little bit better definition maybe, a little bit punchier, but you can always put a little bit more contrast in this image. Anyway, that was it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that's even better. Thank you very much for watching, and see you the next time. Bye-bye.